The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
Excuse me! Taxi!
Come on, what are you doing? This is the 77 WABC minicast.
The White House, because the Secretary of the Treasury, the money man, he must be having the time of his life in that job, right? If you're a big finance guy and you can be the Secretary of the Treasury and you know what you're doing, a lot of these cabinet guys don't necessarily know what they're doing. I mean, historically, this cabinet's great, but historically, you know, they want a nice job, they want a big office, and they want to be able to tell people they're the secretary. This is different. Go ahead.
Calculus. What we want to do, the U.S. is the AI leader in the world. We're an AI superpower. China is second. They are trailing substantially. We want to make sure that we keep that lead. So we are working on the exact calculus between innovation and safety, and we want to optimize for that. So you in the glasses? Yep.
You in the glasses.
Yep, in the glasses.
Thank you very much.
No, you don't have glasses on. You in the glasses.
Thank you for taking my question. There was a report this morning that Justice Alito's son is working in your department. Can you confirm that that's the case? And if so, do you believe that that means that he should be, that the justice should recuse himself from cases that involve your department?
I am sure that Mr. Alito follows all legal and ethical guidelines, and I can assure you that at Treasury we follow all the legal and ethical guidelines.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I have two questions for you, but just to follow what you said about the
well, you didn't call me doctor, so I only get one.
Well, I'll shoot for two. You said that it's up to Congress. The president's face is on a $250 bill, but it is actually the Washington Post that's reported two political appointees from the Treasury Department who have asked agencies to be ready to do that. Do you think politically it's a good idea to put his face on a $250 bill when people are struggling to afford gas and groceries?
I don't really understand this Washington Post article. That who hears from the Post? Yep. Terribly written, terribly edited. Because basically what it says is that Treasury is following the law and that we've created the bill and that it's up to Congress, but that we follow the bill and it's up to... I didn't really understand what the story was.
So,
but anyway...
appointees aren't involved in that, two of your political appointees?
Yeah, of course, but we prepare for everything if it gets passed. Just like we were ready 6 months in advance for the one big beautiful bill for tax guidance. So we have to prepare in advance. You can't draw something up the day before.
Politically, do you think it's a good idea, though, when people are struggling to afford gas and groceries?
Look, I think it has. I think that it's bifurcated. That do you think we should have a 250th anniversary, the celebration?
Well, that's happening anyway. But putting the president's face on a $250 bill is a choice.
But Caitlin, it's not happening anyway. It's happening because it's being funded by private citizens, by the federal government, by state governments, by municipal governments to celebrate our country. And I don't think that there's anything untoward about having the President of the United States, the person who was President of the United States, on the 250th anniversary bill.
On Russia,
on
Russia sanctions. What you just commented on there, Mr. Secretary, about the $1.8 billion fund. Is it accurate that the General Counsel of the Treasury Department resigned over that?
I will not be taking any other questions. I will not be taking any other questions.
But you know, Wall Street over here.
So,
on the sanctions, sir, given the scale of the assault from Russia on Kyiv in recent days,
good for him.
The fact that diplomacy seems to have settled down, there is no diplomatic talks happening right now between Russia, Ukraine, or the U.S. What about sanctions? Is the U.S. considering sanctions on Russia at this time?
Well, the U.S., this administration has put the hardest sanctions on Russia of any country. So let's review how the sanctions regime has gone since the Russian action on Ukraine. Biden administration put on very what I would call mild sanctions, because they were worried about gasoline prices going up into an election. It would be an unstatesmanlike sanctions. Probably the worst national security advisor in the history of the country, Jake Sullivan, in an act of bravery on his way out the door in January, they raised the sanction level on behalf of the Trump administration. We let those in situ when we took office. Fast forward to October, and President Trump instructed me to sanction the two largest Russian oil companies, Lukoil and Rosneft, which we did. No other government has done that. So no one has done more sanctions than the Trump administration on Russian oil. Here, who wants to own this? Gray hair. No, gray hair. No, you don't have gray hair. Well, maybe you do.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. When you had breakfast this morning with Fed Chair, did you request that the Fed lower interest rates?
I had breakfast with Chair Powell 41 times, and I never did that. Last question.
Thanks, sir. Governor Gavin Newsom has floated this idea of a 100% state tax on Californians who receive money from President Trump's anti-weaponization fund. Your response to the governor's call for 100% tax?
There's no cure for stupid.
Mr. Secretary.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you all.
All right. Well done. No cure for stupid. Gavin Newsom, actually, I forgot about that, wants to charge 100% tax on anybody who gets money from the $1.7 billion weaponization fund. Compensation for the federal government weaponizing its for federal prosecutors against innocent, ordinary, regular people. What they did was horrendous. And by the way, he just said something there about the $250 bill, which sounds like it's coming with President Trump on it. They got legislation that would make it legal. You got to change the law. You got to have a new law. And then I heard that there actually was somebody who was alive when they appeared on the currency. Now, when the hell was this? Paper currency was Salmon Chase. Who the hell is Salmon Chase? Salmon Chase, all the way back in 1862. His picture was on the $1 note while he was still alive. But nobody liked it, so they passed a law. Now, who is Salmon Chase? Anybody? Let's see here. Salmon. He was... No idea. An American jurist, statesman, and abolitionist who served as U.S. Treasury Secretary under Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War and later as the 6th Justice of the United States. His financial reforms and judicial leadership made him a pivotal figure in reshaping construction, the Reconstruction era governance, and American banking. Good for him. He was born in 1808. He died in 1873, and they put him on the dollar. And he was a living person. So this is not the most radical thing that has ever been discussed. It's okay. You can do these kinds of things. And it's the 250th anniversary, and you'll have the president on the currency. That's just not that outlandish. I know they want to portray it as such. Let's see here. The Queen of England, the King of England now is on all of the money over there. That's a democracy. Let's see. What else? What other countries? I can't stop thinking about it. I'll tell you, Saddam Hussein was on the currency in Iraq, the Iraqi dinar. Granted, they didn't have to, they didn't change the law or anything like that. There was no law. He just put his face on it. This is different. I do think he's sticking it to the establishment a little bit, and I think that's just fine. It's the 250th anniversary. That's special. And what do you guys think? 800-848-9222. 800-848-9222. I'm liking it. I also like, let's see here, a little bit later today, I will be talking to you about how Richard Nixon remains convinced that the Central Intelligence Agency was behind Watergate. It's one of those things that's been hiding in plain sight. 4 of the 5 Watergate burglars were ex-CIA employees. And it's literally true that the Russia collusion stuff is 100 times worse than Watergate. Because Watergate, at least they had the decency that on paper they were using former people, right? Former. And they were not bugging the president. They were bugging, the Democrat National Committee headquarters trying to get dirt there. It's a private institution. It's not government. It's not anything. But it's still bad. This time they actually use government means to wiretap an incoming president of the United States and blackmail him. And they use the CIA and they use the FBI and they use big law, and it is worse than Watergate. Richard Nixon's take on all of this is fascinating.